Yo, welcome to the first. Blah,
First, you mean the third episode?
the third episode. Third episode of
One, two,
three. J&E Comic Cast. My name is Josiah. I'm here with.
Emilio.
He's upset at me because I made fun of his stutter, and now he wants to take it out on our podcast. But
they were on some. They were on some.
I gave him a little.
Stop talking.
I gave him a little smoke before we got into this podcast, but it's fine. It's fine.
The only thing you guys are gonna see from me if you guys are watching this on YouTube is just straight up thumbs up the entire time. Right?
Yo, what about our Spotify users? They want to hear you speak.
We need a. You gotta do a voiceover where you just put a thumbs up. Just say thumbs up.
All right. Now we're getting into the good stuff. You ready for this?
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about Marvel. We got a new episode of Loki that dropped Wednesday. Couple days. We got Black Widow coming up. So let's get in with that Loki episode.
And we also have. Don't forget that we have the maybe minor spoilers from some leaked Hasbro pictures of some of the action figures from Spiderman No Way Home.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I completely forgot.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you want to talk about first? What are you thinking?
Let's get right to Loki, man. That Loki episode was fire, bro.
It was a lot better than episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3 was a dumpster fire.
Episode 3, like, I don't even want to talk about episode 3.
Nah. And you know what's funny is I remember that before we started last week's episode, we were supposed to talk about it, and it just didn't happen, and it didn't happen for good reason because episode 3 was just, I mean, like it wasn't bad like compared to like a lot of other shows, you know, and stuff that they put out, but episode 3 of Loki was just really slow and went nowhere. But
100% agree. Episode 4 though, they got last we saw they got taken in by the what is they called again? TVA.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your thoughts on that? Like, what do you think is going? Where is it gonna go?
No, I mean no. Also, episode 4. Remember, it ended with Loki getting pruned, right?
Yeah.
And Sylvie, she had the work. I can't remember the name of like the head chick from the TVA office.
Yeah, I can't remember.
But she remember she kind of had her hostage. She's like, "You're gonna tell me everything."
Yeah.
Because we came to find out another big reveal in that episode was like the episode started off with us seeing the timekeepers, and then it ended with us also finding out the timekeepers are robots. So I did not expect that at all whatsoever.
Yeah. What about the fact the officer lady where she find out that she was really taken and brought into the TVA. She wasn't created for it. They were taking people. What are your thoughts on that?
I thought that was like a really cool sentimental moment on the show. How even though you didn't get to see what she saw, you saw how kind of when Sylvie was showing her like her memories and stuff, you saw like the emotion on her face. So it's kind of crazy, like to see, like you remember, like in the first episode, she was just like no nonsense. Yeah. You know what I mean? And for her going from no nonsense, doing whatever the TVA needs me to do, to her going, you know, having like this, like you know, all of a sudden like finding again herself.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and doing what's right. I think that was like a really cool thing. What did you think of? What did you think of the whole situation with Mobius?
So I think he's still alive. Where I think it looks so after the episode ended, my parents watched it before me, and they had questions, and they were like, after you watch the episode, we're gonna ask you questions. So they're thinking that he got sent to Asgard. Loki got sent back to Asgard, but before it was destroyed, because we know in Endgame, Thanos destroyed Asgard. So he's thinking it was sent before in the time.
Asgard was destroyed in Infinity War, remember?
Infinity War.
No, it was Infinity War. It was Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
You remember with that
the sister
or Surtur or whatever.
Yeah. So Asgard was destroyed, but they're thinking like he got sent back in time, Asgard, like way before.
You know, I didn't think of that, man. That's a pretty like interesting thing. The way I kind of understood it that like they get sent to almost kind of like kind of like a landfill. I mean, that's probably not the the best word to use it, or maybe kind of like a middle place between the world of living and maybe like the world of the dead, you know. And I think after a while there, you know, maybe then they disappear or whatever. Because I remember from the last shot, which if you watched the episode and you didn't wait for the mid-credit scene, you did yourself a disservice. But in a way, you kind of also like hype yourself up for next week, because if you just watched the episode and didn't watch the mid-credit scene, then you think that the way the episode ends with just Loki dying, which was crazy. Because I was like that too before I saw the mid-credit scene. It kind of blew me away. But like back to the point I was saying really quick. I think that at least I remember like it being like a bunch of destroyed buildings. So I don't know if it's kind of like, maybe like a middle ground, like a middle station, or like a place where everything pruned just goes there to kind of like wither away and die.
So you think it's like some part of the universe, or like it's a different timeline, like, or do you think it's like a dimension?
Like a dimension.
So like a certain dimension for it?
There's a word for it, man, but I can't think of the word for it right now, and it's kind of bugging me. It'll come to me like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, that was crazy when she tried to kill the timekeepers and stuff, and they were androids. But I've seen comics with the timekeepers and discussing them and stuff. Haven't read any yet, but I'm curious because in the comics they looked amazing. How they addressed them.
Did they look the same way they looked in the show?
They looked the same way they did in the show, and that's why I was like, "What?" They again going back to Marvel CGI and credit to their movies and everything, and the Marvel universe itself. They hands down have one of the best CGIs for movies and stuff.
You're not lying, man. Honestly, like that first scene with the cop, I can't think of her name and it's gonna bug me, but that first scene where she came in and she goes to see the timekeepers and all you saw was kind of like this, like the mist and like the red eyes. I was like, yo, that's like a crazy shot,
Yeah. So my theories for what's to come, we have Black Widow coming out soon, Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings coming out soon, and then we have Spider-Man No Way Home, Eternals. And then we also have Doctor Strange's new movie, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse Madness, which is supposed to have Wanda in it. So my thing is, I feel like all the shows that they so far released, WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and Loki, is gonna go into what's to come. For Loki, I feel like there's going to be something where he messes up the timeline and it creates this big multiverse. And that's when Doctor Strange has to come in, intervene with the multiverse madness. And then that's where we know we're going to get the Sinister Six out of the Spider-Man No Way Home. And there's theories that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield is supposed to be making appearance in that show. And that's where I think it's going to lead up to. It's creating that Spider-Verse because something Loki causes to mess up the multiverse, which we got to see them hint at in episode 1 of Loki.
Yeah, I agree. And by the way, the name of the director I think is Ravonna. I just looked it up. Okay. So I had to know. But I agree with that. I think that's like Marvel's, and I think maybe the people that are catching on to it, but maybe it was just a little bit slow with the uptake or whatever. But I think it is. I think that all those shows minus Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think that all those shows are kind of putting in their little bit into the whole, multiverse thing. And I think that it's a story that's going to start playing out. And I think it'll start playing out with Spider-Man No Way Home. And then I think we'll see kind of like where they go with it in Doctor Strange.
Yeah. We can also see, because, again, we got the Black Widow movie coming up. They can make a scene where she comes back into the Marvel MCU universe, even though she's dead, and she died in Endgame. They can bring her back if they bring out the multiverse into it. So we have a little... We know that Black Widow movie's coming out in 5 days and stuff. So that's a possibility that Scarlett Johansson continues Black Widow in the MCU.
That'll be really interesting, And I think that might be that's like a really interesting theory, and I think that I could see how that would play out. You know, that could be like Marvel's big brain plan.
Yeah.
You know, because it never made sense for them to give us a Black Widow movie after you have the character die in Endgame. I think that if you're gonna give us a Black Widow movie, give it to us when you're giving like all these origin stories. You know what I mean?
100%. So we talked about the Loki, Eternals. My dad finally watched the trailer, the other day. That's a movie that I'm looking forward to see. How do you think that's gonna come out in the MC universe? You think it's gonna be a separate part of it, or you think they're gonna bring it into with other characters?
You know, I think it's gonna be really interesting. I think, like, first of all, I gotta say that visually, it almost doesn't even look like a Marvel movie. It looks like a completely different other
Not at all
story. Like I think the trailer to me was like, I think I mentioned this too in our episodes, which is like amazing, which is beautiful. You know, like a really nice like scene. But I don't know, like, because from my understanding, they're like really powerful. So I could see it just them kind of like giving us maybe like a little side story. You know what I mean? And then us not getting really anything else from there. Sorry about that.
Yeah. You know what I would love to see? A movie by the MCU, because they made a TV show about it, but with Cloak and Dagger. I don't know if you heard of them.
I think they have a show though. You know
yeah, they have a show. But I would love to have like their own movie of it, because there's a Spider-Man TV show that they make an appearance on, and that's where I first learned about them and stuff, and I really enjoyed their powers and their style of fighting. That they're friends, that their powers help each other. They're one almost.
They complement each other.
Yeah.
I think there's rumors for I think there might be rumors that there's gonna be a Cloak and Dagger movie, but I haven't really followed up with that. I think that would be really interesting to see, you know, because I remember I saw a thing where they're talking about J.K. Simmons, who plays
Joe Jameson.
J.J. Jameson, whatever his name is. Jonah Jameson. Jonah Jameson, the tongue twister for the day is that. Last week it was Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
We couldn't say right. And he was talking about, and I read like a little clip of it, and he was just kind of saying how he was just kind of saying how, you know, it's like exciting for him to play the same character in almost like two different universes, because he was Jonah Jameson in like the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, to Tobey Maguire, and now he's the same character with Tom Holland Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
And then he kind of mentioned it, and I don't know if this is a hint for the future, but he kind of mentioned that, you know, he's excited to like maybe see, and I don't remember the full quote, but he's kind of excited to see like his character go through like movies, you know?
Yeah.
And I think he said it in a way that sounded like we're getting more Spider-Man movies, which is really exciting for me.
100% agree. Exciting. Because I know Disney just signed a contract with Sony for a 6-year plan with all their previous Spider-Man movies and soon to come ones to be added on Disney Plus in 2022 starting. So that would be, if we got that 6-year plan with Disney, we can expect the MCU to be using Spider-Man for a while. Then,
I think before they do anything, and before they stop Spider-Man, we need to see him versus Venom.
Yeah,
and I need to see him in the black symbiote suit.
I know
that's one of my favorite suits.
Yeah, I know they were talking about. Disney was saying that they would love to have it where Tom Holland plays Spider-Man and continues. We see his way through college. So we see him going through college life struggles and everything as being Spider-Man and stuff, which I think is a really good possibility and stuff, how things are going. My thing is, though, will Tom Holland continue being Spider-Man?
I mean, I don't see why he wouldn't. You know,
yeah.
Imagine Marvel's throwing probably tons of bread at the man, right?
Yeah.
And I think if you're getting paid as nice as he is, and if they're kind of like pushing him to be the or not pushing him, like maybe making him up to be the next, you know, head of the MCU, kind of like what Iron Man was, I think that he should continue to do it. You know, I think it'd be really interesting to see like his it'd be interesting to see his kind of growth from like novice superhero, like somebody who's just kind of figuring his way out. It's kind of like full-fledged hero, kind of like how we got like with Iron Man. At first Iron Man was he didn't really know what he was doing at first. He was kind of like greedy into himself, and then by the end of Endgame, we got like this full circle hero thing from him.
And remember, there's leaks of a Miss Marvel. I don't know if it's a TV show or a movie that they're making of her. But she was part of Spider-Man series before as well, and comics, TV shows, and other stuff. So we might be seeing a little sneak peek with Tom Holland running a little Young Avengers, where we might get Hawkeye's daughter and stuff. Yeah. We were talking about it last week and stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking about the whole. It looks like maybe they're kind of setting up the young
Protocol.
Avengers thing. Yeah.
Yeah. What's surprising to me? That Tom Holland is known for leaking movies and stuff. He's leaked before Endgame. He's leaked before Infinity War. He leaked The Homecoming. But he hasn't leaked anything for this one. Why? We all want leaks right now.
You know what? They maybe Marvel just stop telling him stuff. But it'd be really funny if you saying that. It'd be really funny if he's the one that leaks the trailer. Leaks. I'm doing quotation marks so you guys can't see me on Spotify. Leaks the trailer.
Bro, that would be the best leak anyone asked for right now, because we want a trailer so bad.
But I think we have two chances to get it. I think that we're Black Widow coming out this week.
Yep.
There's a chance that we get it before then, which I'm hoping that's the case. But the really big event on the I think starts the 22nd or 23rd of this month is Comic-Con.
This is true.
So we might get that. We might get a Doctor Strange trailer, which would be insane because I'm really excited about that movie. And maybe we'll get more footage from the Eternals and Shang-Chi, which I think would be really interesting.
Yeah. It sucks. Because of COVID, last year I was supposed to go to Comic-Con. Some of you may know this. And this year...
I didn't know this.
He didn't know this.
And I wasn't invited either.
Bro. This year, I was hoping to go as well. But now the vaccination and stuff, but COVID is still out there. Besides the point, Comic-Con is a dream of mine to eventually get to go.
Do I get an invite?
Bro,
next time?
If we're going this year?
Oh, this year is virtual, so we're going to go.
It is virtual?
Yeah, it's virtual Comic-Con this year.
Okay, we're doing it virtually. If we can live stream it, we're going to be live streaming it and talking about things that are release, upcoming, and whatever they announce for it. You down?
I'm down. You know what? That'll be a special
episode, a live stream episode.
Yeah, not on Sunday. It'll be a special. When is it? Thursday or Friday or Saturday? Whenever they do the Marvel panel, we'll go ahead and we'll live stream that, and the DC stuff too. We can do too.
Bet. Well, we'll do. So the entire thing we'll live stream, and then after the live stream, I will go in, edit each episode in parts of, to break it down for you guys, half Marvel and half DC, because we're going to get tons of stuff and give our thoughts. So if you guys are curious about that or aren't able to join it virtually online for yourselves, it'll be on our YouTube channel. Any Spotify listeners there, it'll be on our YouTube channel. Link in the description and always. But going back to Marvel.
and we're doing the same thing too, because now you touched upon that. We're doing the same thing too with Black Widow. Black Widow, we'll go ahead and we'll have our thoughts. We're watching it this week. When it drops, we'll have our thoughts and our opinions and our feels on Black Widow.
That we can't live stream because we'll get copyrighted.
Yeah. Next week on Sunday, we'll let you guys know what we thought about that movie. But supposedly, and just to go back on the young Avengers thing, supposedly, I think they were saying that this movie introduces her successor in the MCU. So maybe we won't get Black Widow coming back. Scarlett Johansson coming back as Black Widow.
Yeah.
But we'll have another member to add to the young Avengers cast.
Okay. I wouldn't mind that. Also, I just saw on Twitter, because, again, we're not only a comic podcast, but we enjoy comics and stuff. PlayStation just announced they're also doing a new event, another PS5 event, where they're going to be dropping new games for their PS5s, dropping new hints at stuff coming out. Stay tuned for that. If that's something that we can live stream as well, we definitely will live stream that and give you our thoughts for what it's coming up.
Ragnarok, man, I need to see.
That was one of your favorite series.
That's the number one game I'm excited for the PS5.
This year, Gotham Knights was supposed to release, and they pushed it back to 2022.
Yeah, we got robbed. We got robbed of that.
We got hard
That first
robbed.
trailer was crazy. Did they push back Suicide Squad too?
No, that was still 2022 and stuff.
I thought the Suicide Squad game was coming out 2021.
No, they were still
trailer,
222.
That trailer was pretty crazy too.
That one does look crazy too. It looks like a continuation, in my theories, because after playing Injustice 1 and 2, it looks like a continuation of those games. Because in Injustice 2, Brainiac was part of there, and we saw a little Brainiac ship when the game started. Or it might be a situation where it's just in the middle of that timeline. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a really good theory. I didn't think of that. But I think that's gonna be really interesting to see how that kind of story plays out. I wanted to ask you. I know we're kind of jumping a lit'll bit, but what'd you think of the suits that showed in the spoilers for the toys for Spider-Man No Way Home? We had two suits. Remember, we had the one that looked like it was a mixture of his suit from the second movie, from Far From Home, and a mixture of his Iron Spider suit from Infinity War and Endgame.
So,
and then we had another suit which I think was black and gold trimmed.
Yeah.
Which reminded me a lot of, if you played, I know you played it and I played it as well, of the Anti-Ox suit from
Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah, from the Spider-Man PS4 game. Which, if you have not played that game is
it's amazing.
Insane. The story is insane.
You still haven't played the Miles Morales one yet, right?
No, I have not. When I set up the PS5, I'll do that. But
this guy, okay. Jumping that for you guys in the comments can help me convince this man to finally set up his PS5. He's been having that PS5 locked in a closet. On top of that, not in the box, still locked in a closet for 6 months, 7 months
since November.
Since November.
Yeah, it's a crime. It's a crime I've committed against.
Bro, so many good games has released on the PS5 that you can play right now. But back to those suits. You got to set it up. Back to those suits. I really liked the Anti-Ox suit. The one that looked like the Anti-Ox suit. I think that one was my favorite. All those suits as well was from the PS4 game. I don't know if you noticed that.
No, well, I mean, like I said, the one suit that we saw, which I thought was really interesting too. I don't know if you saw the Funko Pop, looked like he was like he might have had some kind of magic ability with the suit. You saw in the Funko Pop. I don't know if you saw. I didn't see that. And maybe you could put that link in our description so maybe people could see that.
Yeah, I'll put that in the description for sure.
But the Funko Pop suit looked like at first I thought that he had an arc reactor on his chest, which I thought would have been like a really cool nod.
That'd be insane.
I thought
that'd be insane.
And it could be that too, which I thought like it's like a really cool nod to Iron Man, his mentor. But then in his hand it looked like he was kind of projecting like the shield thing that Doctor Strange does. So me personally, out of the two suits, I do think the Anti-Ox suit is from the game is like one of my favorite suits of all time. But I really like the gold. But I've always been a really big fan of his Infinity War suit. Yeah. So out of the two suits, I think my favorite one was the one that looked like his Far From Home suit with the spider from Infinity War. From the Infinity War suit with like the gold trim. I think that suit looked amazing.
Yeah. I'm just a sucker for wearing black and stuff. So I don't blame you. The Anti-Ox suit, man, and we know Doc Ock is coming into No Way Home. That's so that would make sense and stuff. Bro, but I don't know, in the game and stuff, that suit hit different.
No, the suit looked really nice in the game. Yeah, I can't even blame you. So it'd be really interesting to see how they kind of play that in the movie. And who knows, man? Those suits might not even be his suits. Those suits might be suits that some of the maybe Tobey Maguire wears that. You know what I mean? Because he's rumored to be in the movie. Or
this is true.
Andrew Garfield. So that'd be really interesting. I know another thing that the toys released, because the Lego sets always do this. They did it for Endgame. Before Endgame came out, we knew that the final battle was going to be, or there was going to be a battle at the Avengers compound, because Legos came out and showed us a whole battle going on with Thanos at Avengers compound. So one of the things that a couple of the Lego sets showed him fighting look like Vulture again.
Yeah.
Which Michael Keaton as Vulture in the first Spider-Man movie from the MCU was, I think, his
was
Vulture
amazing.
Was insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really
100%.
unsettling. They showed Scorpion, I think, and I think there was another baddie that they showed, but I can't.
Rhino.
It might have been Rhino. I gotta go double check.
Maybe Rhino, because I know. So thinking about the Sinister Six, we got.
Which you mentioned that you thought already was supposed to be the next. Was supposed to be the main bad guys of the movie.
Yeah,
so.
before we had any leaks or anything, I was like, you know what would be crazy? We get a Sinister Six movie. Bam, popped up. Doc Ock shows up. I was like, it's happening. I text him almost every day.
Six, yeah.
It's happening.
It's happening.
Bomb. Electro popped up. It's happening.
Yep. He said I gotta give him credit where credit's due. He did say it.
But it could be Rhino because part of the Sinister Six was Rhino, Electro, Doc Ock, Vulture, Kraven the Hunter. I know was there.
Which they have a guy to play Kraven the Hunter.
It was you know who's playing him? It's the guy that was originally the speedster that died in Avengers 2. I forgot his name.
Taylor Johnson, I think his name was. I think Taylor Johnson.
Sounds about right, but the one that was he was supposed to be the Kraven.
Let's go to our trusty Google.
Yeah, go Google it while I continue blabbing about the Sinister Six.
Google sponsors.
Kraven. Yeah, he was supposed to play Kraven the Hunter, so that's 5. Who else? Sandman. Sandman was part of the Sinister Six as well, but they could change. I think it was Sandman, or who was the other one? Oh man.
Well, you know they hinted at Green Goblin, so there's a chance that we see Green
Goblin. I think Green.
Because
yeah.
remember the MCU. I mean, they stay faithful to comics a lot of times.
Yeah.
But they also do their own thing, and so far it's worked out for them. So they kind of, and it also I think it works out for them too because it also kind of give us a little surprise. You know, you're not expecting certain.
You know what's crazy? What?
Oh, Aaron Taylor Johnson. So
Taylor Johnson.
I had his last name, but I didn't have his first name.
I just which the show I just told you about recently. I just finished. Not like recent, but I just finished the Spectacular Spider-Man. With the 2 seasons. Season 2 was how it ended and stuff. A lot of people hate it, but the show itself was a good show. I think that was the first show that had an appearance with Liz Allen, MJ, and Gwen all in the same show. So that was what I found interesting was because
Gwen.
Spider Gwen maybe.
Yeah, with Emma Stone as Spider Gwen.
I would like a new Spider Gwen. Not gonna lie.
Well, we've had Gwen Stacy twice. We had her in The Amazing Spider-Man. Emma Jones.
Yeah.
Emma Stone. Jones.
Emma Stone.
Then we had Bryce Dallas Howard play Gwen Stacy in the third Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
So
they should just create a new one.
A third Gwen Stacy?
Yeah, because the Amazing Spider-Man.
Why not, right?
I mean,
they're creating everything else.
The trailer that I sent you, that fan-made trailer with Spider-Gwen. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That he's capping. I'm wearing a hat, but you capping. I will send it to you again. I will have a link to it in the description as well for that fan-made trailer. It's a fan-made trailer.
I saw it, bro. I saw it, man.
I don't care. I think we should get a new Spider-Gwen. I have a couple, because remember Tom Holland is young. He's a younger Spider-Man now. I don't think Emma Stone or the other Gwen Stacy would fit the character.
Thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that is true.
So, I mean, she doesn't have to be what she was to like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
She doesn't have to be like what she was to Miles Morales in that movie, but they could have her kind of come in like from a different multiverse, you know what I mean? And
if they're bringing out the Ghost Spider though, people are gonna want a movie just based on her. So they got to get an actor that would be willing to play a Ghost Spider just based on her. Because I know me myself will love a Ghost Spider movie.
Me too. Her character was really interesting and Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be really cool if they see and Marvel just really throws us for a loop if they give us Miles Morales in December.
Or a little hint.
Oh my gosh.
Just a little. I would even take a little hint. We know Aaron Davis was in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he said
the one that went
mentioned
his nephew. He has a nephew that lives here.
Yeah, so we've gotten a little hint. That would be insane if all of a sudden they team up and we have four, not one, not two, not three like we thought. 4 Spider-Mans on the big screen. That would be.
What about 5? They could bring out Spider-Man 2.
What about 6? Sign me up as Spider-Man.
We can get Spider-Man 2099. Who knows?
Oh, we could.
We can get Spider-Man 2099.
We could.
There's many options out there and many theories we have and would love to see on MCU. And I know eventually, as well as these movies are doing, especially the Spider-Man movies, DC is gonna make a full-time contract with Sony or eventually just buy the Spider-Man character. I know there was deals talking about
DC?
Not DC, sorry. Marvel eventually will buy the Spider-Man character.
Okay, I was like, I know Spider-Man was crossing over into Batman's world.
Yo, that'd be sick.
Yeah, Batman would end Spider-Man pretty quick.
This is true.
Or he'll recruit him to be another Robin.
This is true. We had a comic book, Marvel vs. DC comic book, before. It's an older comic book, and that comic book was really good.
Yeah, a long time. I remember reading it when I was younger, and it was interesting how some of the characters even fused. I think there was like one that was like a mixture of Wolverine and Batman.
Yeah, and like I think I saw a YouTube video of all all of Batman's powers that he got from other superheroes, because we have him in comics where he wears Green Lantern's ring.
Oh yeah,
and we have TV shows. We have the spoiler alert from the Batman TV show you haven't seen. The Batman animated TV show that I told you about. He wears Green Lantern's ring in that.
Now, what's with the spoilers?
But like we have different things that Batman has used powers into battle as well. Comic book, TV show wise, a lot of people, and I don't know how I feel about it, but what would be your thoughts if Disney buys out DC, buys the franchise completely out, and like takes ownership and stuff? How would you feel about that?
I think it would be crazy to kind of see Kevin Feige do what he did with the MCU with DC. You know, I feel like at that point we know for sure that there's not going to be any shenanigans with Justice League like there was, or you know, give us a fantastic Superman movie, Man of Steel, and then just not give us anything else with really no sense.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be interesting, but the House of Mouse has too much power at that point, man. They gotta be investigated. They got DC. They got everything. Bro.
This is the only thing I would say is, and it's a point that I agree with, that of a YouTube video I've seen as well, is people said that think about it, if Disney buys DC, the movie productions release times will be all, because they got to focus on Marvel now, and they got to focus on DC releasing comics, games. Everything is going to be a little slower now, because we have, unless they get a whole new separate team to focus on DC and have a separate team that focuses on Marvel. You understand what I mean?
Yeah, no, I definitely, and I could see that being an issue, unless they just buy out DC and then just keep on DC's team and just direct them. Because I feel like that's a big issue with DC. Like me personally, I think that they make really good movies, but I think that one of the biggest issues is that they have like, almost seems like they have no direction.
Yeah, I agree with that. They don't know where to take the movie or where to go.
It just seems like they're trying to like what's the phrase? Run before they could walk, you know?
Yeah.
And you can't do that.
I mean, we'll see what happens with this new Batman movie that's supposed to be releasing. We got Black Adam supposed to be releasing, Shazam 2. We have a lot of different things from DC.
Suicide
also.
Squad, we got a trailer
Suicide
for that
Squad
recently too. That
we have
looked really good too.
We have a lot of stuff releasing for DC, and again, we're enjoying this journey as much as you are.
Well, I was actually, because you asked me, what do you think if the Disney did buy the DC? What do you think?
I would think they should just combine all universes.
That'd be insane, man. There's so much that they haven't done with Marvel yet. You think about it, we haven't seen X-Men yet.
This is true.
We haven't seen the Fantastic Four. I know what you're gonna say. I'm not a fan of X-Men.
I'm not a fan of X-Men.
Bro, I love X-Men.
I'm not a fan of X-Men. I wasn't a fan.
One of my favorite things was like watching it. Like I used to like run home to watch the animated series. So
I've
been a big fan. And Cyclops to me was always a man. You know, with his little laser eye.
Bro, so
that's the sound they make too.
I think we mentioned this in episode 2, but we used to do the midnight movie nights, and one of the movies we wanted to go see was the X-Men Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse. I'm not gonna lie, I did fall asleep at the theaters, and he got mad at me because I just
so disrespectful.
I fell out. I stood up for every other movie except for that one.
I just wanted to make sure the movie was called X-Men Apocalypse. Which
I fell asleep on that movie. I don't know. I just recently with my brother watched X-Men again, and again, I do like them, but I'm not a fan of them like how I am with Marvel and DC. It's a cool series. I think the problem with it's one of those series like they didn't know where to go with it, and I think it's Fox's fault for that because recently Disney just bought X-Men back and Fantastic Four. So I think it's Fox's fault because they didn't know where to go with the movie and with the movies and stuff. And I think that's what threw me off was the storyline. I think they had good actors, but the storyline itself, I don't think I was a big fan of, to be honest.
Well, let me ask you, which movie did you watch?
I watched all of them. I recently just watched all of them with Eli. Yeah. Eli's my brother, by the way. But yeah, I just recently watched them. And again, it's just
how could you not like Days of Future Past or X-Men 2? I watched those recently.
I think my favorite.
I feel like those movies were like as close to. I mean, I don't want to say perfect super, but those movies were extremely well made.
Bro,
X-Men, the second one, I mean, obviously the cliffhanger and the way they executed Dark Phoenix and X-Men 3, and then again the way that they executed Phoenix in the Dark Phoenix movie were horrible. I think those two second movies were really well made.
The one that was one of my favorites, I don't remember the name of it. It was the storyline was when they were it was when they were older and they would taking away the X-Men powers. Like people with powers, they were taking them away.
With the Sentinels?
I think so. There was where the kid had this power to take people's powers away. It was like a young kid and they were using him to take the powers away. I recently just saw that one. While you continue to talk about X-Men, I'll find out the name for it.
Yeah. You know what? Did you watch Logan?
No, I did not.
Okay. Some people really liked that movie. Other people just felt like it was kind of off. I think you're talking about the X-Men Days of. Oh, no, man, taking away powers. That might have been X2, man, where they had the kid and they used.
Was it the original X-Men?
No,
it might have been the original.
The original one. The original one was the whole. The original one was where they had Magneto.
It was Last Stand. X-Men Last Stand. The Last Stand.
Yeah, I would. If you only watch that, if you had to watch one X-Men movie, do not watch Last Stand. That's not the movie to watch.
I like Last Stand though.
Last Stand could have been made
a lot better, probably.
A lot better, yeah, 100%.
And that's probably what
I highly recommend. These are my top 3 X-Men movies. If you're gonna watch an X-Men movie, in no particular order, because I think actually, if I had to put them in order, I think it'd probably be X-Men Days of Future Past number 1, X-Men 2 number 2, and then the very first X-Men would be number 3. But if you had to watch any 3 of those, any one of those, any X-Men movie in general, and you had to just watch one, watch Days of Future Past. That one was probably I'd watch that. I
think that's the one that had the highest reviews. Looking at it now, so that one had a 90% Rotten Tomato meter. So I like to look at before watching movies and stuff to see if it's worth going to the theaters or anything. I look at the tomato meter and stuff, even though that's not a good thing because it's just critics being critics and stuff on movies and stuff. Because there was many movies I liked and critics didn't like. But
you watch New Mutants too, right?
I did watch New Mutants.
How was that? I still haven't watched that.
So garbage. I hated that movie. And if comments can flame me all you want.
No, listen,
I hated that movie.
I'm not even gonna because that's what I heard too. But it was supposed to be like this, scary.
It was
and I'm doing jazz hands. I'm doing stuff with my fingers over here for you Spotify viewers that can't watch it.
That was another movie again that they didn't know where to go with it and stuff. So I think X-Men is done, right? Like X-Men series is done, as we know.
As far as I know, I think they had something coming up, but once Disney bought them out, I think Disney canceled. Disney pretty much put shish kebab on all their projects.
And that's the thing. Like right now, I feel like Disney has a high chance of rebooting that and getting a fan base for that. But it's just if they get the storyline right, like how they did with the MCU, the 20-year project and stuff, that will make a lot of their movies better. The last Fantastic Four, garbage. Even the old ones were meh.
It was super. So, and this is what I was talking about the X-Men movies. X-Men X-Men Apocalypse, the ending was cheesy. X-Men Dark Phoenix, the ending was extremely predictable.
The whole movie was just dead.
The whole movie was pretty predictable.
The movie was dead.
Well, you know what I heard though? I heard that they had to change it because they were originally going to use the Skrulls, and Marvel said, "Nah, bro, we're doing that in Captain Marvel, so y'all can't use it." So maybe that could be why. Okay. Maybe that could be why they had their issues.
Still a dead movie. Continue.
And what was the other movie we were talking about? Fantastic Four, the most recent one, with Michael B. Jordan as the Human Torch. I watched it and I was like, I know that. And I know
garbage. Well, Mike probably peaked. Sorry.
It was bad because it was predictable. I think that's where that comes from.
It was garbage. Dark Phoenix, garbage. Fantastic Four was garbage.
This man is taking it way too far right now.
New Mutants, garbage.
I haven't watched it. I can't make that decision.
Right now, they just gotta focus on phase. What are we? Phase 5 with Marvel?
Phase 100. I don't remember.
I think it's phase 5. They gotta just focus on that and what's to come. We have a lot of good stuff. Voice crack. We have a lot of good stuff that's coming out with Marvel. DC. Looking forward to the new Batman movie that's supposed to be releasing.
We gotta watch that. We gotta watch the long Halloween, right?
Oh, not that one. The one with
You're talking about the live action with Rob Pattinson?
Yeah, Robert Pattinson. Yeah,
I know what I'm saying, but they came out with the animated one. We haven't.
Oh, the long Halloween. Yeah, I'm really debating on buying that. You know what? I just saw YouTube. I don't know, and I sent you this too, and you probably ignored it as well.
Yeah, I watched it.
You see, right now this podcast, we're not really friends. We don't speak to each other on a daily.
Not today.
We don't like each other.
Not anymore.
I don't know why are you even in my room?
You know what? Let me get out of here.
Okay. I sent you Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Turtles. The trailer looked good for that. Not gonna lie.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. The minute I saw Batman versus Teenage Mutant Turtles, I did this with my phone, and you guys can't see it on Spotify. I picked it up in my hand, and I just put it down and got back to doing absolutely whatever I was doing.
Bro, the trailer looks fire.
Fighting the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Fire, bro.
Actually, you know what? That's a lie. I'm gonna go back on that.
You would see it.
I actually did watch that trailer.
So you did watch it. You liar. You're such a capper.
I did watch it. Not when you sent. I think I watched that another time. Oh, my mic.
Yeah, we're peeking all over the place. Right now, we're really excited. There was a lot of stuff that we got to see and stuff. So let breathing ASMR.
Let's resume.
But yeah, I think we have a lot to come and stuff coming into the future. And I'm looking forward to it. Comic-Con.
No Superman versus Lois either this week. We won't be back until the 13th.
Yeah.
I know you guys know that's one of our favorite things to talk about, but they're on a little hiatus. So July 13th they come back.
And stay tuned with our social medias and stuff because we're gonna be doing a little bit of research on Comic-Con virtually. When is it? Exact dates and stuff.
I'm excited for that.
And we'll tell you which days we're live streaming. We might live stream all of it even. Yeah. If we go to every single one, we'll see.
We'll definitely try to do for sure the biggest days.
Oh, 100%.
Which I think
will probably be a Friday.
Saturday? I think it's normally Friday or Saturday where they drop a lot of their stuff. So we'll see that. Maybe and something we don't talk about that we're both fans of is Star Wars. So maybe we'll get more Star Wars stuff coming in on for Comic-Con. So that'll be pretty interesting.
We got Bad Batch. Such a good show. I
haven't watched that, man. I gotta get caught up on that.
Such a good show. I think Clone Wars is still better. I enjoy Clone Wars a lot, but Bad Batch is good and stuff.
Don't sue me, but I haven't watched Clone Wars either.
I know. There's a lot of things he doesn't watch.
I do have to get caught up, but at first
I'm gonna create him a list. Help me with the list. Comments. Help me with the list.
I wasn't. Yeah. Start the list now. I wasn't a fan of the. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of like the CGI, like I guess the way the show looks. But I've had numerous people tell me that the story in the shows is probably one of the best Star Wars.
It's good
stories that you can watch. So I gotta get caught up with that.
Oh, speak about cartoon TV shows. There was leaks for, and then we can end the episode after this. Okay. But there was leaks for Young Justice season 4, Phantom, that is supposed to come out in August. Hopefully it's true. That show I've been waiting for almost 2 years now.
I'm on episode 2 of season 1, so I have a lot of catching up to do.
That show, oh my god! Again, my favorite show. My favorite show is that show, Young Justice. It's so good.
I'll binge it. I'll binge watch it. I'll take a weekend off and just.
Bro, I rewatched that show. I think like 4 or 5 times. Just how good it is. Insane. Like as soon as I finish it, I go back, start season 1 again, and rewatch it because it's so good.
The same way you feel about that show is the same way I feel about the X-Men movies.
No. You can't compare. No. After that comment, we're ending. We're done. We're signing off.
Yes, E. You guys take it easy. Enjoy your week. Be safe.
Whoop, whoop.